Yo, what's up guys? The Insane Game Freak here to bring you another First Impressions. And today's not even today's, tonight. Well, today because it's like 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. This next First Impression is on a show that actually is on its second episode because the first episode came out last week and I said I was going to test this because it had a very Wagneria-esque vibe to it. And that show is in fact Servant X Service, which is a show that not only has a Wagneria vibe, but it also has an Azumagadayo vibe, especially the OST. The OST is just fucking ridiculous. So if you're a fan of Azumagadayo or Wagneria or those slice of life comedy based shows, there's not really any romance. So that part of Wagneria. It's more in terms of the gags, but it feels like a mix. It's like it feels more toned down than Wagneria, but more hyped up than Azumagadayo. Yeah, a little bit more hyped up. Because the whole premise of it is that it takes place in like a civil service office. Like you have in the main character cast for the most part is actually pretty small. It's only like 3 main characters. You have Yagami, Hasabe, and Mihoshi. Those are the 3 newbies, and then you have like a few other characters within that group. Within the actual office that's already there, like Chihaya and I forget the dude's name. I think his name is Ichimonji, I think. It's funny because his little sister was introduced the second episode, so there's not too much to say. Now, you would think with a slice of life, and if it's based around Wagneria, and if it feels like Wagneria and Azumagadayo, that means the show doesn't have a plot. Well, that is true. The show doesn't technically have a plot, but we do know that the main character does have one particular gag, has one gag that kind of relays into why she's even in this job in the first place. See, here's the thing is, Yagami is her last name, obviously, because, they always call characters by their last names. Now, Yagami's first name is Lucy, but that's only part of her first name. See, the thing is, when she was born, her parents came up with kind of a ridiculous idea for her name. They couldn't figure out what name to give her, so they essentially picked every name of a list of names and named her that as her first name. And she blames the civil service worker who approved that and allowed them to do that because her name is like this ridiculous, like her first name is ridiculously long. Like to the point where I don't think we will ever hear the entirety of it before we're done. The fact that she remembers it is something different. It's something ridiculous. So that's her whole thing, is that she kind of joined the civil service office to eventually meet that person and say something to that person, which kind of doesn't make sense because if I remember right, I think she's like the main character. Like she's like Lucy's like fucking in her like early 20s. I think she's probably around my age because I think Mihoshi says she's 24 and Yagami says she's older than her. Yagami says she's younger than Mihoshi, so she's got to be 23, 22, 21, around that range. I don't know why you would think anyone would still be there, but hell, it's interesting enough. Also, I guess we should get into personality type. She's that whole hardworking girl. She's new at the job. Mihoshi's like the shy type. Like she's not really very confrontational. And like the gag they've had done with her for the last 2 episodes is that she keeps getting into these conversations with old ladies who just talk her to death, and Mihoshi doesn't have the heart to fucking tell them that, we gotta move on. It's like, I got other shit to do. And then we have Hasabe, who the closest equivalent to is probably Soma, because he's a troll. Like, he keeps asking girls for phone numbers, and he intentionally just fucks with people. Like when he does this episode, like they're trying to cheer up Mihoshi or help Mihoshi out, and so Yagami is like, and so Hasabe is like, you know what, Lucy, you should act more helpless, like you don't know what to do, and then you should fall over and drop your papers, like, oh, I'm so clumsy, help me, Hasabe-sama, and please don't hesitate to call me Hasabe-sama, and she's like, I'll kill you. Like, they even did that in the first episode where like. He kept calling her Lucy because she doesn't, that whole first name basis is a big thing in Japan. And he's like, and she's chasing him around. But the thing about this gag is it didn't make sense. Is like when the episode ended It's when like work was over and she's about to hit him, and then she stops like, "Oh, work's over, fuck it." And I'm like, and you're just like, okay. Chihaya, we find out, and actually in the second episode, she's a cosplayer, and she writes doujin, which interesting enough. Then we have Ichimonji. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing his last name because I don't think we know his first name. Because we are introduced to his little sister this episode, which her name is Tomoko. Which what's with that name? Because if you've been watching anything else summer related, you know there's another show that has the main character with Tomoko as the name. The main character with the first name Tomoko. I'm being stupid. I'm also tired because it's like almost 2:00 in the morning. Overall, it's fun. The first episode didn't inherently grab me, but the second episode was a lot funnier, and just it was enjoyable. Even like how like Chihaya is talking about cosplay with Yagami, and like Hasabe walks in and he's like, "Oh, I know about that kind of stuff. I play video games all the time." And he mentions this like long list of video games. Most of them are like parodies of like famous video games. Like I think he says Final Fantasy, parody of Final Fantasy, parody of Mario Kart, parody of Pokemon, parody of Dragon Quest. He says a few things, and then Chia's like, "Wait a minute, there were some adult games in there too, but no one caught it because Yagami's not really well versed in that stuff." I was angered because they were talking about cosplaying. The only person we ever get to see is Chihaya cosplay in the episode, and I kind of wanted to see Yagami cosplay. I also like the guy with the breast thing. Because Chihaya notices that in the first episode, and she brings attention to it again in the second episode. She's like, you're insecure about your breast size. It's like, no. It's like, what is those, like H? She's like, oh, thank God, they look that small. I'm happy. And she's like, what the fuck? H is small to her? Like, oh God. In retrospect, I feel like because of anime, it has fucked up my perception of how big breasts are. Like when I see a C cup in the real world, that is not a C cup in the anime world. The C cup in the anime world is ridiculous. Like my standard for breasts has been fucked up by Ecchi. Ecchi has ruined my standard for what I think certain breast sizes should be. That was kind of a random side topic, but overall, I'm enjoying this. I didn't think I would drop this anyway. I don't really have any intentions of dropping. Actually, everything I've watched so far, I don't have any intentions of dropping, but it's like the first episode. And I think the only other show I need to talk about, well, two other shows actually, is Silver Spoon and the Monogatari second season. But a lot of you suggested that I watch Neko Monogatari first, and Daisuke just put up the second episode, so I might wait until they put those up and then just marathon the Baka Monogatari second season episode. So my first impressions for that probably will be up way late, and I will do it still. It'll just be like 4 episodes into the damn season probably, because I think they're releasing an episode a week. So, yay. But yeah, that's Server Next Service. So, link in the description to go check it out on Crunchyroll. And, oh wait, and it's an Aniplex show, so the possibilities of getting an American release, the possibility of it being overpriced, if I could reach any higher, my hand would snap off from the bone disjointing. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. This has been the vlogs again from your boy Tadal, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Wow. I don't know anyone who's easily entertained by this.